great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion. Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name, Jim Hacking. My occupation, immigration lawyer extraordinaire, practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. Nurse Laura, today's Tuesday. Sister, yesterday was Monday. I'm thinking, Caria said the Baltimore Key Bridge collapse is beyond heartbreaking. Thinking of all involved and affected. That's exactly what I wanted to start the show with. It is that bridge collapse. Have you guys seen it? It's pretty dramatic. It's very upsetting. For those of you who don't know, I used to be a maritime lawyer. So before I did immigration, I did maritime law. And so I was thinking about my old days. So when I became a new lawyer at that maritime firm, so we represented boats and barge companies that shipped up and down the river. And the first case that I worked on was a case where a barge got loose and knocked out 137 other barges. And then those 137 barges were all filled with stuff, and they all went bouncing around the Mississippi River. So I was thinking about that last night because I worked on that case for 4 years. The guy who had fleeted the barge didn't want to pay for all the damage caused by his runaway barge. And I was thinking about that when I saw the footage this morning, because there are a couple things that can come into play. One is the vessel owner. There's an old law under the Jones Act. There's a provision called the Jones Act. The Jones Act has a provision called a limitation of liability, which allows the owners of the vessel to limit their liability to the amount of value of the vessel. So I'm pretty sure the shipping company and the insurance company will try to argue that the highest amount of liability that they have is the amount of value in the vessel. So I'm going to pull up the video just so you guys can see it. It's pretty dramatic. And you'll notice that there were people driving over the bridge right before it got struck. So let's see if I can play this. So the boat's there on the left. See, it just hit the boat had lost its power twice, and the whole bridge, the Francis Scott Key Bridge, the whole thing collapsed. It's a very important bridge for shipping. I think they said 20 people ended up in the water. It looks like there's 6 people missing. The boat had lost its power twice before, and there was smoke coming from it. So it's pretty dramatic and obviously very upsetting. But those owners of the vessel are probably going to try to limit their liability to the amount of money that they have tied up in the boat. The other thing is that when a moving object hits a fixed structure like a bridge, that moving object is presumed at fault. So that boat company's in big trouble, obviously. And hopefully we're just thinking about the people that died or got hurt. I hope that there's as little destruction to human life as possible. But it was certainly something to wake up to this morning. And, you know, when I had my maritime job, there would be a disaster of some sorts and we'd have to like swing into action. So I remember one time around the 1st of July or January 1st, an African-American deckhand fell into the water and rode underneath 3 barges, and a barge is 200 feet long. So he went under the river. It was freezing cold, and he went under the barge, and he popped out at the other end. The boat that he fell off of, the captain knew what to do, and he drove the boat all the way down to the bottom, and basically they caught the guy. Well, like I said, he was African-American, but when they pulled him out of the water, his skin was white. But he basically froze, and they brought him back to life, and nothing happened to him. He didn't have any long-term problems. It was really crazy. Gerald Taggart, I'll remember his name. So we had to go down there and investigate and see what was going on. It was an interesting job. I really liked it. But obviously I like immigration. Laura says they're still looking for 5 people. Immigration is a lot more interesting for me. But I always like looking at the barges. I enjoyed being out on the river. One time I rowed a boat in the tow for a weekend. It was a really fun job. So between St. Paul, Minnesota, and down south of here, there are what are called locks and dams. So a boat can push 15 barges, loaded barges, downriver. But when you go through the lock and dam, you have to cut the tow and send half of it through, and then you go through. So I went up like 2 or 3 locks, and I rode down with the fellas over the weekend. It was a very interesting experience. It took all weekend, but I really learned a lot to be able to talk about what was happening on the boats. I remember one of the deckhands from Arkansas said to me, "You want to know how I got my woman?" And I said, "Yeah, sure. How did you get your woman?" And he said, "I got my woman. I was walking down the street and her old man was beating her, and I didn't like that. So I went and beat his ass, and then she became my woman." Sort of like cavemen, it sounded like to me, but it was very interesting. All right, well, that's my Maritime Answers show segment for today. Now we'll get to immigration. And again, we'll send all of our best thoughts and wishes for the people affected by that collision. Vicos was waiting for you.
Yep, audio, right?
Vicos, you there?
You're there?
Vicos?
Okay. What is it now?
I think Vicos is at lunch. All right, we'll come back. Mohammed is here. Hello, Mohammed.
Hello, Jim. A very good morning to you.
Same
First
to you.
of all, I want to thank you for taking me on. And also, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for the amazing work that you do. I have been watching some of your shows. The first time I saw you was on TikTok, so that's how I came to your channel.
Awesome.
Jim, I have a question. I have applied the first time for B1, B2 visa for US back in 2015, and I got it with my family. So we came twice to US. I came like 4 times to US. It expired in 2020 during the COVID, and I couldn't get time to renew it. I renewed it in 2022. When I applied, they asked me that they need further, more documentation. It was a DS-55, I guess, for my last 15 years
5535.
of, yeah. So I provided that in May or June 2022, and since then my case is in administrative processing. My wife got visa like in November, like 5 or 6 months later, but I haven't got my visa till now, and then I keep sending them emails like after every 2, months, and they're saying, yeah, don't apply again. Your case is still under administrative processing. We will let you know if there is any updates, but nothing is moving on. It's been like 2 years almost now.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised. That happens. There's no right to a visit visa. There's no right to renew a visit visa. They give them to some people. They don't give them to others. They typically don't. My wife is from Egypt. I became Muslim 30 years ago. Most of my clients are from Muslim countries or have Muslim names.
MashaAllah.
So
MashaAllah.
yeah. So they discriminate against guys with Muslim names all the time. So I don't think there's much you can do other than wait. You could reapply, but you might just be wasting your money.
Yeah, they told me not to reapply.
Yeah, so you're just chilling.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I thought if there is any way that we can hire a lawyer or check into that.
No, there's nothing a lawyer can check on. The embassy doesn't have to explain themselves, even when they deny an immigrant visa to the spouse of a U.S. citizen. They don't have to explain it. So there's nothing a lawyer. Don't pay a lawyer anything. There's nothing they can do.
Okay. Now, Jim, one more thing. 2 of my kids are American citizens. They were born in U.S.
Yeah.
Would that make any impact when I want to, come to US again in future if they deny this application after administrative processing?
Well, I mean, there are parents of U.S. citizens who get their visit visas granted, and there's parents of U.S. citizens who get their visit visas denied. People call on this show once a week, Muhammad, talking about how they just wanted to get their mom here so that she can help see the baby be born, their granddaughter be born, and help take care of them, and they get denied. So There's
No.
just no way. There's no way to tell.
Mm-hmm. Understood. Thank you again. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Mohammed. See
Really
you, buddy.
appreciate it.
Yep, for sure. Thanks for the call. All right. Everyone's reminding me Shabazz is going to USCIS today. We'll see how it goes. I hope it gets approved, but he probably drives them crazy over there. You think when they see Shabazz coming, they remember who he is? I bet they do. I bet they don't forget old Shabazz. All right, PBO2 Boparai.
Hi, Mr. Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. Can I keep my camera off?
The camera is off.
Okay. Thank you for that. So one of my buddy, he's your client, so that's how I got to know about you.
Great.
And I have some questions today. I've been waiting for this for a minute. I'm joining every time, but something happens. But anyways, so I'm married to this lady. She's from United States. I have a kid with her, and I got my green card too. Like I have my green card. But what happened in our relation, the thing was not going fine. She was doing her stuff, cheating and everything, I would say. So one day I went home from my one job to go to another one, and I got this guy hiding in my basement.
Oh shit.
Who is supposed to be her ex-boyfriend. I know he comes home, but it was like, why you hiding there? If there's nothing going on, if you guys are just friends, why the hell you're hiding in my basement? But so I pushed him out, like he got in my face. I pushed him out from the room, like house and everything. And this lady down to the street, a crackhead, I would say, she called cops saying there's a guy, he's hurting a man with a shovel. And
And she, you
then
mean, and she meant you.
yeah, some lady called cops saying that there's a guy, he's fighting with another man,
Yeah.
and he got a shovel in his hand and chasing him.
Yeah.
And the other woman is crying. So I went ahead and I called cops too, so I can say that yeah, I'm right. That's my home and this is going on. So when they came over, they took written statements, what happened, like written statement, in that I told what happened, like how it was, how it's going on from long time. Like she is doing stuff, but she'll accuse me that I'm the one who's a bad person when all I was doing is working, from morning to night, taking care of my kid, working two jobs so I can keep up with bills and food. But anyways, so what happened? These cops, they put me in handcuffs because they said in your statement you said you were the one who touched your wife first. So I said yeah, because we were talking, she was giving me a hard time, and I just grabbed her like from shoulder. I said, I told you that I never done nothing wrong. Why don't you trust me? And meanwhile, this other guy came and attacked me, and they're like, oh, according to the law of West Virginia, if you touch your spouse, that means domestic battery. So they put me in handcuffs, and it was in October. They took me in, you know, to the magistrate and everything. I had to pay 1,500 pound that day, and I asked magistrate, I'm like, ma'am, so there's nothing like she is doing stuff like this guy behind my back in my house and everything. And she goes, you better be quiet. If not, I can put more charges on you. And there's nothing like, if she's doing something, that's her choice, not yours. So I said, okay. So they said, don't go to the house, stay away. Like the state, I had the attorney who worked for state. He said, don't go in the house, stay away from her until you get your court dates and stuff. And then we see what happened. But I have a kid with her. He's about to be 2 years, and she will blackmail me like, oh, he wants you, you bad person, you left your son behind, this and that, like do everything like to make me feel bad. Then she went court after a month and told them like whatever happens, it was just misunderstanding. I want him home. And I was dumb enough to go back, so I did. I went back home, and again our argument started. Like she won't sleep through the night and won't let me sleep. Oh, you're talking to someone. She'll keep my phone. Like give me hard time as much she can just because she's insecure, right? So in December of 6th, again this thing happened, and we had this argument, and she got scared for some. I went to bathroom, right, and she got scared for some reason that I'm gonna hurt myself, where I have my back history. So her stepson like my stepson actually called cops saying like, he's hurting himself, this and that. So these two cops came over and they took me inside, and I was like, I'm not going to talk to you guys because last time I told you what's going on and I got in trouble, so you stay away from me. And this other cop, he came from behind, threw me on the ground, put me in handcuffs, and take me with him, right? So they put me in jail for like week that time.
How long?
For a week, like they put my bond. What happened where I was on bond already? They put 5,000 for that, cash only. I'm sorry, they put 3,000 for that cash only and 5,000 for this new charges. They put domestic battery, assault on cop, and not listening them. Something I forgot the name. I had the paper right. I don't know the scientific name, but anyways.
Yeah.
So it was like somewhere around $8,000. I have to
Yeah.
pay cash,
Yeah.
which I cannot. Right? That's too much. So they hold me in the cell for in jail for a week, and then my court there. I went there and talked to this my attorney, and I know what he done with magistrate, but it came down to 10%. How
Okay.
it goes? Yeah, 800, 850, something like that, right?
Yeah.
So ever since my lawyer, he was like, I told you last time, don't stay with her because they don't respect you, whatever, right? So if you get in trouble this time, you're going for a long time, like at least 1 year, because you have second offense of domestic. I said there was no domestic, and they even given written like my wife and her son. There's no domestic. They're just afraid that I'm gonna hurt myself. That's why they call cops. So in my statement, which cop give
Your
to,
audio is dropping a little. Your
I'm
mic is
sorry. Can
okay.
you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said there's no domestic. Even their written statement says no domestic. We're just worried about him that he gonna hurt himself. That's why we call cops.
Right.
And the attorney goes,
And when
they
you
can
say
say
when you
whatever.
say when you say attorney, you mean the criminal defense attorney, not the immigration attorney, right?
No, 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 no. He works for state, yeah, defense attorney.
Yeah.
So he goes, cops can say whatever they want now, because you fight with them. I said, I didn't fight nothing, right? All it was, I was talking to them and I said, stay away from me, don't touch me, right? Last time it put me in trouble for no reason, so I
Right.
don't trust you guys.
Right.
And even when they were taking me to jail, and I said, why are you taking me to jail? And this cop says, he's something like deputy commissioner of this town. And he said, yeah, because you told my buddy that he can fuck himself. I said, oh, so if I say fuck yourself, I can go in jail? He said, yeah. So I said, you know what? You can fuck yourself too. Just because, yeah, I said, just because you have your uniform on doesn't mean I'm scared of you. I said, like, I was mad. I said, okay,
Okay,
we can.
time out. Okay, so I wanna ask a couple questions. Has anything
Yeah,
since all that happened?
yeah. So what happened after that? I went to the courthouse and everything. So what they did, my attorney, he put offer in front of me. He said, if you take no context with the cops fight, we will take your two domestic off. And if you don't take that, then we can go for trial. But in trial, three things will go with you: two domestic and this thing like no context with cops, like the fight with cop. And he said, if you lose, then you have to live with your three different kind of all these cases, but
Yeah.
you can win too. So I said, yeah, because I'm the one who will give the statement, right? That there was no fight. And he said, no, there have to be someone else who can stand for you and give statement like, yeah, there was no fight.
Yeah.
So I said, my wife will stand, I'm sure. And he said, yeah, she might, but what if at the time she won't? She says, yeah, he fight or whatever, then you are screwed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even though I don't wanted to, I had to take this thing so I can get away from domestic,
Yep.
which was not even legit, right? So
Yep.
I took this thing like no context, and I asked them. I said, "Okay, you think it's going to be hurt? It's going to hurt me when I apply for my removal of condition from a green card?" And he said, "I don't know. You have to talk to your lawyer." And where I never talked to you before, and it as a process to reach out to you. I didn't have time. So you think that will be fine when I
No,
apply for
no,
my?
no. I think you're in big trouble. There's lots of stuff about this story that you told me that makes me worried. Number one,
Hmm.
whenever if you tell the story about finding the old boyfriend in the basement when you came home between
Yeah.
jobs,
Yeah.
USCIS is going to say that was probably her real boyfriend the whole time, and you just paid this woman to get you a green card. So,
No. So okay. Yeah, you can go ahead.
so that's a big problem. Then you have one domestic violence charge. That's a big problem. Number two.
I
Number
don't have
three.
nothing like they took off. They took that off because cops put the thing that was misunderstanding. So
First
they
one.
take everything off.
First one.
Both they took both off. That's what I'm saying. Like there was no domestic. It was just a thing. Like when they get chance, they will chew you. So there's no domestic.
Okay. So right now the question is, I have a no contest for resisting arrest. Is that what it is, or was it assaulting a
Yes.
police officer? What was?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, the problem with removal of conditions is there's just a huge paper trail right now.
Right.
Whether or not that's going to keep you from getting your green card. I mean, they have discretion. They don't have to give you the 10-year green card.
Right.
You certainly. I mean, they're gonna get records of all the. They're gonna get the arrest records for both those incidents. They're going to treat them as domestic violence. They're going to treat the assaulting the police officers. It's going to be very hard for you to get your 10-year green card and your citizenship. That's all I know.
Right. So that guy, like, who was supposed to be ex-boyfriend. So what happened? My wife's husband, he died in 2019.
What? Your wife's husband?
Yeah, like late husband died in 2019, and I got married to her in 2022 January. We started dating in 21, and then we got married in 22. I have a son with her. So what happened? This guy, and actually this guy, like, who was in basement, he is dead now because he was going through some disease like kidney damage or whatever. So he was staying with her family for a long time because he don't have no one to go. He is a like trouble guy, been in jail and every kind of thing. And few week or two ago, he died in this hospital because of he got pneumonia, and as I said, his kidney was
Okay.
like dead. Yeah, so pretty much he was staying with her family so they can take care of him because he don't have no place to go and he can work or nothing. He was like sick, right?
But she was never married to him. He was just her boyfriend. Like
Yeah,
before.
she was not married. He was just like boyfriend, but as I said, he was staying with her parents and taking care because my father-in-law, he works and he's pretty old, and mother-in-law, she is going through this um, problem like where she's on oxygen 24/7 kind of thing. So he was pretty much staying there taking care of them, and they were taking care of him with the bills.
When is it? When will you have to file your 751?
I'm gonna have to file like in 2025. I got my stuff in September
23.
yeah, 23. So I have to file in 25.
So what is your question to me? Do I think you're going to have an easy time getting your 10-year green card? No, I don't.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's a huge mess.
And second thing is, we are planning to split because it's too much, I mean, we are planning
What?
like we don't live together anymore, and I think we're gonna get divorced. But you think that will be fine if I get divorced?
Well, it might be. I mean, overall, it might be better for you. I mean, the question is she going to try to get you deported? That's the problem.
No, I don't think she will do that. I don't think she will do that.
So you're asking me, Jim, in 2025 when I file? I mean, the problem is these fights and everything happen basically right after you got your green card. So here's a good question.
Right.
When you married her and filed to get your green card, were you out of status?
Just a second. Can you please repeat the question because my voice went a bit. What did you say again?
When you married her, what was your immigration status? Were you out of status?
I was in J1. No, I was in J1 when we got married. I was in J1 visa.
How strong of a case would you say that you filed for the original marriage?
So, okay, I got married in January of 2022, but I applied in December of 2022, right? And I didn't even have to go for my interview because I think maybe reason is we have a kid and I was living with her all this time, and I'm pretty sure they do all the checkings and everything, right? Background check or whatever. So we had everything together, like since we start dating, all the photos and everything, right? And then we were living together. The day I got married, we moved in same house, and I'm on all the bills and everything, like house lease,
And
bill.
you have all those records.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I have everything.
make sure you keep all that. I think it's a tough case. You might be able to get your 10-year green card. Obviously, you're going to apply on the 5-year rule for your citizenship, but it's
Yeah.
gonna be a tough road.
Yeah, I can say that. That's what my buddy told me. I'm sure you know him. He just recently got his stuff through you. So he's the one
I
who told
agree.
me
I
that.
agree, though. Getting away from her as soon as possible is probably better for all kinds of reasons.
Yeah, and that's what my even my magistrate, like, they also said the same thing. They said when first time we told you don't go there, and what, don't go there, and why did you go back? So I said because I didn't want her to struggle with the everything, and they're like, when they don't care about you, why you are care about, why do you care about her when she
Are you
doesn't?
living separately right now?
Yeah, right now I'm living separately because that was the only thing. I don't want to get in trouble. And top of that, she's talking to this. I know what to say. Like, I have bunch of things in my phone I got out of her phone. Like, she's in touch with this cop because before October we had this argument once, like little fight kind, where she started everything and then called cops when they came over, and she said, okay, she's the one who started. Like, she threw a plate on my face, and that's her fault. And the cop, he made me leave the house, saying, if you don't leave the house, we're gonna take her. So I left that night, right? I stayed with one of my friends, and ever since she started talking to this cop, right? Even though when I was in jail, I came back, I got to see like this messages, right? Screenshot. I got screenshots of her message where on 25th of December, like for Christmas, she's sending gifts and everything. They hang out. She goes to his place and everything. So I think that's the main reason why they put me in this thing where I have to take at least one plea. No contest.
All right. I'm going to get moving on to the other callers, okay?
All right. So, but thank you for everything, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Well, that was something. That was a complicated case. Syra's back. Hello, Syra.
Hey, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Doing good. I am back. Jim, I actually have a question for a friend. She's currently filing her replacement for her green card, and wanted.
751.
No, it's just a renewal.
Just a
The
990.
I-90, yeah.
Okay.
She's filing that, but she had a question about her taxes. So if she's owed any money on her previous taxes from previous years, will that affect her green card application?
No.
No. Okay.
You mean she owes the government money?
Yes.
Yeah. No. She should get that taken care of so she can apply for citizenship. But no, that won't keep her from getting her green card.
Okay. So it's only for citizenship, but not for the green card application. Okay. We just wanted to confirm. She and I were going back and forth, and you popped up on YouTube. I was like, great,
Awesome.
let me just quickly ask.
Perfect. Thanks, Syra.
All right, no problem. Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Goodbye. Natalie's here. Hello, Natalie.
Hi, good evening.
How you doing?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm well, thank you. What can I help you with?
Okay, I just have a question, all right?
Sure.
My husband and I, my husband filed for me, right? I'm outside of the US. I got my immigrant visa in March, and they gave me 6 months to leave the country. But our second wedding anniversary is in July, and I have to leave by September. Is it wise to wait after the 2 years so I could get my unconditional green card, or before?
I mean, it'll save you money and it'll save you headache. Yeah. Yeah, if you come after.
Okay. And how long do I have to wait? A couple of days after the 2 years?
Yeah, I would wait at least 10 days. Yeah. Have you paid the Ellis fee yet?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, I wouldn't wait that long. I would just come and let the chips fall where they may. But if you want to save money and try that, you can go for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but paying the fees, that wouldn't affect anything, right?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's all about when you actually arrive, I think.
Oh, okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thanks, Natalie. This is the Immigration Answer Show, episode number 564. My name, Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer, practicing law throughout the United States at our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. I'll be here for the next half hour, and I'll be here tomorrow. I think tomorrow's show's at 11:30 tomorrow. I think, right, Juli? Tomorrow, 11:30? Yep, 11:30 a.m. tomorrow, so a half hour earlier tomorrow. It's soccer season. Nor has our first game of JV soccer tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. She's never played goalie before, and apparently she's the only goalie they got. Jimmy, what do you say?
Hey, James, how's it going today, man?
You know, did you know that I have this idea in my head that I've never met someone named Jim that I did?
Well, I'm the one.
Oh, you're the dickhead?
No, not the one.
How you doing?
Pretty good, man. How's it going?
Good. What's up?
Hey, I have a question, man. My mother is a U.S. citizen. She has filed for my brother, which is a married son. Falls under F3 category.
Yeah.
The priority date is May 22, 2014. And then the case is being processed at the California Center. So I just wanted to kind of touch base with you if you'll be able to help. I mean, we can hire your services.
Sure.
I mean, it's been almost 10 years. I know it's been a lot going on with COVID and all that, but we haven't heard anything beside receiving the letter that they received the case. Now, one other thing that I want to mention, I don't know if it will help this case, but when my grandma filed for all the family, when those first documents, got approved, my brother got aged out, so he lost the chance.
Mm-hmm.
So then mother became U.S. citizen and kind of restarted the process again.
Mm-hmm.
And there where we are at now, just waiting and waiting. So I was wondering, what will be a good avenue to kind of take on this case.
Can you see the screen, Jimmy? Can you see the screen?
Yes. Yeah.
So the visa bulletin comes out every month, and F3 category is your brother's category. What country is your brother from?
It's Albania, so it's Europe.
Albania. Okay, so right now they're starting to process cases from March 1st, 2010. So as much as I'd love to be your brother's lawyer, it's a little bit early. There's not much anybody can do until this date. Until this date hits your mom's priority date. So it looks like it's still 4 years away, and I know it's not moving year to year, so it's still going to be a good long while before he gets to come. So there's nothing.
Do you estimate?
There's nothing I can do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say probably 5 or 6 years, maybe.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking too. So my other question is, because he also has a son which is kind of entering the teen years right now. He's at 14 years old. So our biggest concern is if it takes 5, okay, it will be probably 18, 19. But if it takes more than that, then does he have the risk of raging out, or is there anything that will protect him in that case?
So so immigration is actually doing that son a favor by not adjudicating. You remember, there's always two agencies. There's USCIS that says, yeah, we believe this relationship. And then there's the State Department that processes the visa. So as long as his case is pending at USCIS, his age is frozen. So what you're hoping is that as that gets closer, that USCIS approves it right around the time that date becomes current, because then all that time will be frozen and he'll be under 21.
So in other words, when we filed, he was a pretty much 4 years old kid, has it been frozen from that point?
Yep.
Okay. So then when does it count? By the time it goes to the visa center?
Yeah. That's when the clock starts back up. So he should be okay. He shouldn't. Basically, he shouldn't have what happened to him that happened to his dad.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of concerned about it.
Yeah.
Also, another concern that I have, because the parents are kind of getting older and their health is not the best. It's been declining.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, if I kind of utilize like reaching out to like a congressman, or
There's
like
nobody can do anything. Jim can't do anything. Congressman can't do anything. There's just 4 years of people
gotcha.
in line ahead of him. That's all that it is. No lawsuit can do anything. No congressman can do anything. They can't move him to the front of the line.
No, I got you. So there's no other way. Just basically wait. It's a waiting game.
Just waiting.
Yeah. Well, that's what I had. I was, looking forward to kind of like, see if there's any option. But as you mentioned, you're the top dog in the game, so take
That's
everything.
Right. Thanks, Jimmy.
But
See you, buddy.
I'll keep your number saved just in case, when things come out, I probably can hire your service.
We'll be here, buddy. We'll be here. Thanks, Jimmy.
All right, man. Take care, and thanks for everything you do, man. We appreciate
you. Got it. Me too. Later. Oh, look who's here. Donna's here. Big up, Jim. Oh, Donna, we had so much fun having you on the show this weekend. I still don't think marketing has seen that over here. We got to show them that because you and I were both so excited to see each other. That was great. And my buddy Brent is watching. We had reform inches from being signed. That queue is ghastly. Yes, it is. Indeed, it is. Thank you, Brent. All right, Clover's here. Hello, Clover.
Hi, Jim. Good morning.
Hi,
well,
Clover.
It's morning over here. I guess it's afternoon.
Yeah, it's all good. How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm doing very well. How about you?
I'm great. Donna's here, so I'm happy.
That's good. To give you a brief history, I came into the US as an F1 student. I finished my studies. I went on to do CPT. In my first year, I was fortunate enough to get sponsored, and I have an H-1B.
Nice.
And after getting the H-1B, I was fortunate again to get selected for the DV lottery.
Look at you. You should go to the casino. You're on a hot streak. You should go to the casino.
Yeah, I'll have to try that. So okay. I have a pending I-485 based on the DV lottery.
Great.
And I received a request for interview yesterday.
Great.
So my interview is scheduled for the last week of for the last week of April.
Great.
But then there seems to be a situation at work. So there's a challenge at work, and they are basically considering laying off some of the workers. And unfortunately, I'm one of them. So the layoff is scheduled to be effective 3rd week of April.
Oh my God.
And remember, my interview is the last week of April.
Right. Oh, Clover, I feel so sorry for you. Yeah, so Clover, here's what I want you to do. Probably what we're going to suggest is that you file a change of status from H-1B to B-1, B-2 is probably what we're going to do. But I want you to I want to talk to Andrew and a couple other people in the office before I tell you that for sure. You do get a grace period on your H-1B, a small one. But I think the safer thing will be to file for a B-1, B-2 change so that when you show up at the green card interview, that's pending. But is there any way they can wait a couple weeks to lay you off? Can you talk to them?
Well, I can speak to them and see if there is a possibility. But then I was thinking, since if you are laid off on an H-1B, you have 60 days to get a new job, right?
You do.
So by the time I show up at the interview, I'm still in status. Am I correct?
Well, that's what I want to check. That's what I don't want to tell you over this call. I want to make sure, right? I want to make sure that we do everything we can, because changing to a B1, B2 is not expensive, and it's probably going to be better than just relying. What's going to happen is you're going to show up at that interview and the officer's not going to know what to do. If you tell them that you got laid off from your job, that's going to make them go, uh-oh, what do I do now, right? Now, you were in status when you filed for adjustment. So I think you'll be okay either way. We might not have to do any of this stuff. But like I said, I'm not going to charge you anything. Just
so at the interview, if it comes up,
go ahead.
Yeah, if it comes up at the interview and they ask me, are you still employed or something like that? If for some reason they know I have been laid off a week ago,
well, you'll be telling them because you got to tell them the truth. You'll be telling them if they say, where do you currently work? You'll have to say, I got laid off last week. So you're going to be completely honest about that. But listen.
And will that affect the outcome of the interview?
What I'm worried about is they just sit on it because they don't know what to do because they're not experienced with diversity visa adjustments. Diversity visa adjustments are pretty rare. What field office? Clover, you there? Clover, if you hear
That's
this,
in Phoenix.
Phoenix, okay. Clover, send me an email and I'll tell you what my best advice is. Okay, I'm not going to charge you or anything. Just send it over.
All right, no problem. But then, in preparing for the interview, is there anything you would recommend me to start doing right now?
Just documenting your whole history in the United States, demonstrating that you were in status from the day you got here till the day you showed up. That's it. That's the whole shooting match.
All right, and I don't see this to be very complicated, but I did everything without a lawyer. Do you think going for the interview, it would be good to have a lawyer with me?
Yeah, I think it would be. I think it'd be a good idea to have someone walk the officer through. Yeah, I think that would be helpful.
My internet is.
Yeah, Clover, just send me an email and I'll follow up with you directly. Okay, buddy? We're having some kind of delay there. Cleon was here. Cleon said, I guess I didn't get to Cleon in time. Cleon was in the waiting room. Sorry, Cleon. Wanted to tell Jim the good work his team did. The lawsuit is really a lightning bolt, not a fast forward button. A lightning bolt. That's what I like. I like that. Donna's given the big ups to everybody all around. To everybody all around. And that just makes me happy. All right. Vikos is back. Vikos, what's up?
Hello, Mr. Jim. Please.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, sir? Please, can you take me off camera?
There you go.
So, I have a very quick question. Is can I use my 401k as the co-joint sponsor?
Is it my audio or is it Vikos's audio? Okay. So the question is, can I use my 401k to try to get out of demonstrating the ability to make enough money on my affidavit of support? Is that the question?
Yes, that's correct.
The rule says that you can, but in practicality, they'll just ask you for a co-sponsor.
I am the co-sponsor. Actually, my wife is sponsoring her mom, but she is not working. I'm the one working.
So did you make enough money on your adjusted gross income each of the last 3 years or no?
Not much. I am around the poverty guideline.
With counting everybody up, counting your spouse and any kids or anything, and counting the mom?
No.
Yeah, well, you have to count each person in the household. Plus, you have to count mom.
Okay.
So in answer to your question, you're most likely going to need a co-sponsor. You can't get them to pay attention to the 401k. It just doesn't work.
Okay, my current job, I got a new job which pays way more than what I was doing before.
I mean, you can try it, but most likely they're going to say you want a co-sponsor. They need 3 good years of earning history.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Bye, Vikos. See ya. All right. Issues is here. What do you say, Issues?
Hi, Jim. Can you take me off camera, please?
Yes, I think is today Thursday? Yes. Go right ahead.
All right, Jim. How you doing today?
Great, buddy. How you doing? Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Jim. I'm doing pretty good. I'm calling for a friend.
Okay.
And it's about the application for citizenship.
Great.
Yep. So him and his wife, he got his green card through his wife. And fortunately for him, he got a 10-year green card. And they've been married since 2017.
Okay.
They've got 3 kids.
Yep.
And no history of arrest or anything.
Great.
So he got his 10-year green card.
Yeah.
Okay. So the only issue right now is he wants to file under the 5-year rule.
The 5-year rule. So he's had his green card for at least 5 years?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So he was like trying to find out because he doesn't file taxes with his wife jointly, and also his name is not on the lease where they both live together.
That's
So
not
he was
Why is he not on the lease?
when they first got the apartment, the wife said she's gonna go ahead because the wife was already a U.S. citizen at that time. So she thought maybe him not being a U.S. citizen, maybe she might not be able to get the apartment. So she went ahead alone, and then she took the apartment with only her name on the lease. Um, that's just it, and his name is not on the lease.
So if you're asking me, Jim, does the fact that they file their taxes separately and he's not on the lease, does that hurt his chances of getting citizenship?
Yeah, under the 5-year rule.
It doesn't help. The problem is going to be if they start inquiring. Like probably not. It's probably not going to come up. Do they have kids together?
Yeah, they've got 3 kids, and he's the one in charge of the kids' medicals. He's the one in charge of the kids' school.
Yeah, I
So
don't think any of this is going to come up, and I think applying under the 5-year rule is the way to go.
yeah, that's why he said I should call you and talk to you. Maybe you can give some legal advice about it and how he can go about it.
Yeah. You can have him email me. Sure, no problem.
Okay, Jim. So the last thing I just want to find out: do you think it's necessary for him going into the interview with a lawyer?
I don't know. Maybe. I think so. I think it might be a little bit hairy for him.
Okay.
Yep. What field office?
This is gonna be in Buffalo, New York.
Oh, I was just there. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's probably a good idea to have a lawyer. Yeah.
Okay, Jim. So, can he solicit your firm to accompany him? And
Sure.
if so, how can you go about it?
Just have him email us and say, I'm Issue's friend. He was asking me about my 5-year citizenship case. Send an email to info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com and we go from there.
Okay, Jim. Thank you so much, Jim. Are you guys gonna send a representative over, or you got someone in that area that can represent your firm?
Whichever makes economic sense. We'll figure something out.
Okay, Jim. Thank you so much.
All right, see ya. All right. Oh, Donna called roll call. So everyone chime in with the roll call. Donna is now in charge of roll call. So if Donna calls roll call, everyone's got to chime in. So I'm right here in St. Louis, but she knows that already. All right. Let's go to hacking number 1. Hello.
Hey, Jim.
How you doing? You're not driving, are you?
No, I'm packed up.
Awesome. What's up?
Just want to say long time listener, first time caller, but
Oh, that's my
also a
favorite.
client. Also a client. But just want to share my timeline with you guys that learn a lot from you because I was able to put my I-130 petition together for my own self. So I'm proud that I built my own case, but my priority date was the 2nd of October 2022, and it gets stick. Then I hired you guys.
What kind of
So
case?
this is spousal overseas away.
Got it. Okay. And
Right.
so did we file a lawsuit?
Right. So the lawsuit, I get an email from Nairobi say that the second person was served or something like that on Monday.
Yeah.
By Tuesday, I'm accountancy case actively reviewing. Wednesday, I don't know. From one of your past videos, so you could say that since October, since I filed, I never really uploaded no more evidence from that timeline now. So
Yeah.
the Tuesday night, I end up uploading more evidence of the continuation of the relationship.
Great.
And so by Wednesday now, like by the time Tuesday night I uploaded the evidence, Wednesday they was about to send me a RFE or NOID. They sent it and they revoke it. So like I get a message 1 minute and then 5 minutes later they change their mind.
Yeah.
And then by Thursday now, I see case actively reviewing again.
Yeah.
Then I spoke to, well, they know all your firms say how to keep them updated. So I take a screenshot and send them what's happening. And by Saturday, see the case actively reviewing again, and then schedule a consultation with you guys on Monday, not knowing the USCIS app, like it have a delay, not knowing by Saturday I don't get approved.
Yeah.
So in the space of a week, my case was approved.
Nice. You gotta love it. So this was a case that was stuck at USCIS, but it's an overseas case.
Yeah, for almost a year and a half.
Love it.
So now I'm moving on to the next stage. So,
Awesome. Well, congrats. That's awesome.
yeah. So that highlighting both. And I know fast forward, but
I'll tell Nairobi. I'll tell Nairobi you came on. She'll be happy.
yes. But is it possible I can have a consultation with you, meaning that I want to only take over the rest of the case because like I am really too confident handling the rest of the process.
I'm around tomorrow. I'll tell Nairobi to hook you and me up, and tomorrow we can talk.
Okay, great. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Congrats. I'm glad the lawsuit worked.
Thank you very much. So
all right,
it
have a
does
good
work.
day. See ya. Bye. Huli, can you send me a Slack just to remind me to follow up with Nairobi? Awesome. Thank you. Ramon's been waiting. Hi, Ramon.
Hi, how's it going?
Great. How are you doing?
Good. I have a quick question for my mom.
Okay.
So my sister petitioned her. She's a U.S. citizen. My mom is in Mexico.
Okay.
So we submitted the I-130 in October 2016, and it was approved by USCIS in April of 2017. The case was sent to NBC shortly after. My mom had the interview in April 2018. Approved, but it was missing proof that my sister was living in the U.S. because at that time she was in Mexico and she was moving back over here.
Yeah.
So they kept the case open and waiting for like proof, like letters or pay stubs or something like school or something that she was in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't end up moving back to the U.S. and we sent letters like, yeah, she was here for a few months, but then she went back. Anyway, so like we kind of like left it at that, and they were in Mexico. But recently I went on the state website to submit the DS-260, and it was reopened, right? So a couple of days ago I went and I updated all the info and we resubmitted the application.
Yeah.
And it says it was forwarded to the embassy. But then my sister called the embassy and they said, oh, the case was closed on April 20th of 2020, April of 2020.
Yeah.
You gotta call USCIS again to start all over. So I guess my question is, I have a receipt that's saying that the DS-260 was resubmitted.
Yeah. But that was recently, right?
Yeah, that was like 2 days ago.
So here's the $1 million question.
Okay.
Before you guys sort of got back on this wagon and said we want to bring mom to the United States, in other words, the case was sort of asleep for a while, right?
It was, yeah.
So
it was over a year or 2 years that I know you got to keep in touch with them a year or 2 years.
Well, that's the whole shooting match. What I want to know is how much time was there? Like, I need to know dates. Like, when was the last time you communicated with them, and then when was the time that you recommunicated with them?
So I'm gonna say around 2020 to 2024. So it was like 4 years.
Yeah, that's 4 years. Yeah, so that case is over. You have an obligation. If you want to keep a case like that alive, you've got to contact them once a year.
Okay. So why was it like still open on the state website, the DS-260? That has no effect. If they said it's closed, it's closed. So even if I resubmitted yesterday.
I mean, you could play it out and see what happens, but it's probably going to be faster just to file a new I-130.
So start all over. Yeah, because I think like April 1st, like the fees go up too. So I just wanted to make sure.
Does your sister live in the United States?
She is now. And she has full employment and everything.
4 years is a long time. If it was a year and 3 months, I might try to revive it, but 4 years is a really long time.
Oh, okay. So even if it was open, like,
unless you can point to something that they did wrong. I mean, the problem really, Ramon, is going to be getting them to pay any attention to this. That's the real problem. You guys could bang your head on the wall trying to get everybody to revive the case, but it might just be faster to start over.
Okay.
Or do both. Your sister could file another I-130 and keep trying to fight the other case.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just I wanted to have some professional
Yeah, sure.
opinion, you know, because I'm like, I wouldn't have a problem like starting over, but
Yeah.
it's like we just got to pay everything again. But you know, it's like, well, you should have called someone and asked, and they could have reinstated the.
Well, I'll just say this: the filing fee goes up on Monday, so you might want to file this week.
Right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we already kind of like pre-filled it out, but I'm like, let me talk to an attorney and
Yeah, I'm
find out.
not against you trying to revive the old one, but I wouldn't hold my breath. That's why I would file a new one.
So there won't be an issue like if we restarted like the one because like immigration is gonna say, well, we already approved your I-130. We sent the case to the NVC.
Yeah, it's all right. Just it's okay. I would still it's worth the $600 you're going to pay to keep that going.
Oh, okay, and start the clock again and everything. Okay, thank you, sir.
Hi,
Appreciate it.
Ramon. See you, buddy.
Thank you.
Oh, we're having fun today. Boy, we got a full house today. Yesterday's noon show wasn't this busy. So tomorrow we'll be at 11:30. I'll be here for about 5 more minutes. I'm going to talk to Ola, and then we'll see what's what. Hello, Ola.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Jim. Can you hear me very well?
I hear you just fine. How you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you very much. First of all, I've come back here to thank you. I spoke with you last year. I sought your advice on the U visa application I filed in year 2020. So I didn't hear nothing. And then I asked you if I could sue them. You told me I couldn't sue them because they have a limitation they issue per year.
Right.
So, but you said I could request for expedite. You told me it's not a guarantee,
Yeah.
but I have to have a good reason to convince them. So I went through the line of being psychologically impacted by being a professional and not able to work for over the years. And it took them 8 months to respond to my expedite. If I had forgotten about it, I thought it wasn't going to work. And then after 8 months, they reviewed it and they finally granted me my 4 years of authorization. So I feel it's wise to come back and thank you for encouraging me to do that. So although when it came, I filed for myself and my wife. My children are all citizens, but my wife's own hasn't been sent. But we paid for her work authorization when they requested for it in 2021. So they said they didn't approve her for expedite. So they said her expedite was not approved. So we are still hoping that maybe later on, maybe it's going to come. This is the 4th year that we filed the petition.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Mine came exactly 3 years and 10 months.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking 3 to 4 years. Yeah.
So also you're thinking maybe my wife's uncle come later this year? Or?
Probably by the end of the year. Yeah.
Then I also asked you if I could invite my parents. Then while I was out of status, you said I shouldn't. So I got my cousin, who is a citizen of the United States, who is my dad's niece, to invite my dad. But at the visa interview, the lady asked my dad if the person inviting him is a citizen. Unfortunately, my dad could not provide an answer. My dad said, I know she has a legal status in the US and she comes out and in. So I don't know if she's a citizen or a resident. So the lady told my dad that I don't have a way to verify that. And then she denied my 83-year-old dad visa. So do you think I can invite my dad directly by myself now?
Remember, Ola, I don't care much about invites for visit visas. Nobody in the embassy cares about invites. Nobody cares who's inviting. What they care about is, do I believe this person is going to go back home? And if they find out that their son applied for a U visa and their son's wife is there and they have U.S. citizen kids there, they're probably not going to give him the visit visa. I don't think it's because he didn't know the status of that person. I think it's because they think the whole family's moving to America.
Oh, okay. And he's actually 84 years old.
So you can try again, but don't get your hopes up. And I would wait at least a year before you do it again.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Ola.
God bless you, sir. Yeah.
See you, buddy. Congrats. All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. We'll be back tomorrow at noon, 11:30 Central, 11:30 tomorrow, episode 565. We're trucking right on to 600, aren't we? That's what happens when you do a show every day during Ramadan. Listen, I did want to ask one thing. I haven't been posting like my regular YouTube videos just because I'm doing the live show every day. I'm just too tired after the live show to do recorded stuff. So I hope that's okay with everybody. But if not, let me know if you think I need to be making the old usual videos. I guess I think maybe I'd like to get to a point where I either do a live show or one new video each day. Like that would be desirable. Vishnu will be back tomorrow. Pello says thank you. Matt says thanks and hello to everybody. Laura's taken out. Nos vemos mañana. Jay Cruz says, our good friend Jay Cruz. We're happy to figure out that she is indeed female. We didn't know that until recently, even though she's been on the show before. I forgot. Hopefully Shabazz will come back tomorrow and give us some good news about his visit to USCIS. And it would have been so funny if he recorded it. I could never tell him to record it, but man, wouldn't it be funny to hear? I'm sure it was just like when he talks to me and just doesn't listen, you know. All right. Fingers crossed. Big ups, y'all. See ya.